Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of the Smiths in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker with the Strat Time Report. And it's a little sleepy here on a Friday, but we got an inside day forming in the S&P SPY. So what does that mean? So basically, there's a certain sequence you want to be looking for at certain times, right? So if you go in the upper left here, right? So far, the SPY has not taken out yesterday's highs or lows, right? And so that's a consolidation. We can expect things to go back and forth in here, right? That's not good. If you look at the upper middle, look at the range for the week. This thing is doing nothing, right? This is doing nothing. So the SPY is going to have 3 weeks, depending on the rest of the day, stuck in these 2 weeks, all right? Now, if you go down to the lower middle, you're going to see it's still an inside month, too. We haven't taken out last month's highs or lows. Now, we're green on the month, but it hasn't taken it out. So when we talk about a sequence, it's like when you get into the middle of the day, something that's still an inside day like the SPY, that's something you don't want to touch, right? Because you can expect it to go back and forth. And so it was making some attempts here in the 60, it's starting to move higher. And because we just backed off in the last half an hour. And so if you go to the lower middle, you're going to see all of this is within these 2 hours, right? We're not out of that yet. Now, it's been trying to work its way higher. Now we've got a new 60, so it wouldn't surprise me to come right back through a little bit, but we'll see. If it continues to try and march up, that would be something. But right now we're seeing a lot of mixed stuff where, you know, some of the airlines and stuff that we're getting hit are bouncing back a little bit. But when you get to the, like I said, the middle of the day and you're still an inside day, that's not something you want. And when you get towards the end of the week and you see something that's not bright green or red, that's not something you want. And as the month goes on, right, the longer you get into the month, like the 3rd week of the month or 4th week of the month, if it's still inside, that's not something you want, right? We want something that's trending and going. So today you get Netflix here, right? And so Netflix, you can see this bright green on all time frames. Now, we prefer to come back to a previous range as opposed to going into the highs, but we'll take it because you'll see this pattern that I've talked about over and over again. You see this outside bar that took out both sides? That's an expansion on both sides. And then when it takes this, it's still expanding, right? And on the week, off she goes, right? And so Netflix having a nice day, and we'll see if you can get something off a nice 5-minute here, right here, inside 5-minute right here, right? That's one way to enter. You can see here in the lower left, taking out one side to the highs, one side to the lows. Then here, there's another nice entry because these bars, coming outside bar of that, right? Or right into here. There's your 3-2 down and then back through the previous range, stuff like that. So the other thing that it had working for it, for a slight tailwind or headwind or tailwind, was when QQQ did this. Went inside and then poked up a little bit. Not a huge tailwind, but it was trying, because you can see here QQQ up in the left. Inside day. That's no good. Right? It's closer to not being one, but we want to watch these new 60 minutes, right? As soon as this new 60 starts, right, what's just happened, right, to see, do they want to keep buying or not? So if we go to our 15 SPY, here, they come down, take them out a little bit. Now in the new 60, we'll see if they want to start taking them back up. They're slowly trying to walk up, but we want to be aware of this inside day because that's a problem. So if you go to a Roku, and Roku, we knew had a nice day yesterday here and started off all right. So you can see once again, we knew this because of the week. Take out the previous high, take out the previous low, and then boom, take it up into here, right? Not an inside month, bright green in the month. That's what you want. And now on the 60, they bring it in a little bit. So now you got a new 60 to see if they want to go back up. That's the 30 looking. So it's got some distance on this thing before you get a valid signal to the upside. So we'll see. If we go to Peloton, and Peloton, bright green, bright green, bright green. All right, so that's good. And now you just get your inside 30 here. So you can see here on the lower left, it goes outside, inside 30, and then up. Then inside 30, then up. Now it's inside 30 again to see if we can get more continuation and to go back to the upside. Once again, we're going to the highs. It's called exhaustion risk, but you know, we're taking what we got here. You got MATX here, and this was perfect. So we put out the gap list on my Twitter at @RobinTheBlack every morning, and then we go through them in the morning. And it wasn't that long of a list this morning, so you can just see something like this inside on the 30 in the lower left. Right? It's bright green on all other time frames, right? So the daily would start off, and this gets the daily going here, but you've already bright green on the week and the month. Then you get your inside 30 here above 34.10, and boom, there you go, come up 38. If we go to overstock, so you'll see overstock was a no trader yesterday because it was inside day. That's what we look for, the formation here, right? That's consolidation. Then boom, as soon as overstock takes out 45.85 and it didn't gap through it, off she goes. And then I've talked about this a few times and looking to come back up. Here's your broadening formation in the lower middle, right? To come up and take these guys out at 48. It did it. It did it. Now the question is, can march all the way back up and take that stuff out, right? So we'll see if that sets up again too. Like I said, when inside day, as things progress, can get worse. So back and forth we go in the SPY. Tesla. So Tesla right now, bright green on the month in the lower middle, bright green on the week, inside day on your upper left, right? And that took that out at 1408.56. It's trading 1419 right now. And the good thing is it's a Friday. You can get them cheapo options. And then if you go to the 60, you're going to see this inside and up on the 60 right now as I'm speaking over 114.15.83. There you go. There's $3 in 6 minutes or whatever, and maybe some more. If we go to the weed, CGC starting to come up, and certainly you can see this month not doing much on the month, not doing too much on the week. The good part about this was here, if you go to the daily upper left, you can see this reversal takes out lows and then takes out the highs, and you're coming back through a previous range. That's what we like to see because we know there's going to be stops here, here, and here, and they take them out. The question is going to be strong enough for that. So we'll see if that sets up again. 2, NEE in the utilities, right? Setting up the measured move, right? So here you can see in the upper middle, took out last week's lows, right? That was down and then back through previous range, right? It's still inside on the month in the lower middle, right? But it is bright green. Then here in the upper left, you got this, the up, the inside, the gone, measured mover. So we're looking to take, how about the size of this by the end of the day if we can get it going? Watching these futures just kind of dry up here a little bit, but we'll see. Except airlines, I know. I know. But they did try and come out outside day American Airlines, and the monthlies aren't going to do so well. But on a Friday, oftentimes you can see counter moves take place because of short covering or profit taking, right? That's if you've had something all week, or you're more likely to cover on Friday coming into the weekend. You got Tesla going to the house. Good. Yeah, it's nice now. All right. Now we got a little bit more meat on them bones. 415. Now we're talking $9. Good. All right. So then LMND, you just get the things that are moving around the best you can. LMND, and just like these things that move around. And so you can see like on 30s and stuff, you're having some nice $2-bucker moves in half an hour. And you can see here, here's what the continuation we look for. So if you took this inside bar and up, came back and got stopped out, that's okay because this took out one side of the range, upside. This took out the downside, and then you're back in right here, and you catch that. Netflix goes to the highs, and so like I said, when you have an inside day in the futures, sometimes it's real easy to spot them natural buyers and sellers. And right now, you got buyers going after the Netflix. If you go to GoDaddy, and we like this one on the downside, the daily, and you might recall this. Coming back to previous range. Oops, too big. Going back through this previous range. Remember that? Coming back here. Then as it comes down in here and gets into the new lows, you're going to see this, right? There's that slight higher high, the lower low, and then boom, back to previous range. So not too bad. Not much going on the week and the month, but we'll see what goes on there. If you take a look at Goldman Sachs here, still inside month in the lower middle, right? And so it's in general not doing much. And boy, what's this on the 30-minute? You ever seen one of these before? If you're not used to seeing broadening formations, I would come to the Smith in the Black channel over the weekend. I'm going to be finishing off my special video series on the broadening formation phenomenon, where I'm showing you everything that there is to know about this stuff. Because this is something you need to know. This is how price discovery works: the lower lows, the higher highs, the back down. Here you can see the inside bar down. What I want to point out on Goldman Sachs here is interesting to look for in a stock. And what you're seeing here on the daily upper left, notice that each day there's not a lot of shadows or wicks. They're either buying or selling this thing every day. That's a good sign, right? That means that these computers are going back and forth, and they're showing their hand. All right. Right now, the S&P SPY doing this on the 60 here, right? Still inside. So we're going to see if we can close inside. When we get these equilibriums, so oftentimes we can go either way on them, and especially on a day like today, because we can expect things to go back and forth. We got UONE. And UONE backing off, goes inside on the 60, but anything that you can have this much of a range on gets our attention, even though you can see what we call the mother bar in the monthly. This thing could spend the rest of its life in here. So you can expect that to go back and forth. And if you go to the upper middle, now it's close to next week coming back up through this range, right? And if that price discovery series continues, even though it stays within the giant mother bar, it could take this, that, and that out in one shot. That would be a nice move. So coming into that, we'll see how that goes. WCN, the garbage. And WCN, you can see this having a nice couple of days here on the upper left, right? And we'll see if that sets up again. Still inside month, as you can see in the lower middle, but right during in the week and coming after some old highs in here. We'll see if that resets up. But S&P trying to come in right now, back and forth. You've got Camping World. Nice move there. You can see the 60 move on the opening. Real nice move here to retake a green week. And in the lower middle, you're going to see in the monthly coming back up, and you're going to see this. The higher high, the lower low, the higher high, and then boom, lower low. And you're going to see that series start over again down in here. Like so, right? Higher high, lower low, inside back up, inside back down, inside back up. See, not that hard. If we go to ZYXI, I know we're going down the food chain a little bit here on this stuff, but had a nice opening move here, and you see in the lower left, and it is green on everything else. So we'll see if that can regroup on a 30 or a 60. Like I said, this could get real sleepy here in the broader average stuff. If we go to, if you're looking to the downside, there's not too much getting hit, but one of the things you would definitely want to look for is like not an outside day and trading below yesterday's low. And you can see SNPS is coming back through this range here on the daily. Chewy comes back through. You can see outside day, if you go upper left, took it out a little bit and then starts puking through here. Yeah, you're looking through any sell signal you can get. Hey, I got one for you. Have you seen this pattern before? The outside bar range expansion continuation right there. That's where you nail this thing. Below 50.27, and there you go. You got yourself a winner. You go to PayPal. Just anything taken out yesterday's lows, right? Gets my attention, especially if the market starts to back off a little bit more, get some of these 60s going. You've got SQ, Square, taking out yesterday's lows and coming in a bit. We'll see if you can get any signal on that. Okay, 2-hour inside pattern and trying to drop off of that. Netflix, still going. The machines are in there, folks. Get it. All right. See if we can get ourselves another 5 or something, or a 3-minute. Sometimes when they're really grinding like this, and there you go. That's inside on the 3 right there. And you're going to see this. All these patterns I show you are very repetitious. You see this 5-minute, pokes down and goes hammer, boom. They take these 3 out in one shot. Then you have your continuation inside 5. Then it goes inside in the 5 and down, right? Is that a pattern we look for? Inside and then down and then back up? It is right there. And then there's your inside 5 continuation, right? Not that hard. We've got Tesla going to the highs. Not bad there. All right. Inside day. Let's go back to our 60. Is this something we look for? You bet it is. What was that again? 1406. There you go. Why don't we say, why not? Let's go $30 here in 15 minutes. Why not? So, yeah, coming into the weekend, stop by the Smiths in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker. My entire video library is free. Come check it out because there's a lot of good information there for you to help keep you staying along with what we do here day in and day out. All right. I hope everybody had a great week and has an even better weekend. I'm Rob Smith of the Smiths in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker with the Strat Time Report.
The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition, and considering whether to trade or to authorize someone else to trade for you. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.